iPhone 7 versus Samsung Galaxy S7, iOS and Android face-off. The iPhone 7 is a step up from iPhone 6s, but how does it stack up when compared with the best Android flagship? Apple and Samsung have always dominated the smartphone market by offering flagship phones with a potent combination of powerful hardware, functional software, and unique features. The recent announcement of the iPhone 7 takes things to the next level by adding a beefed up processor, major improvements to the camera, and waterproofing. Let's take a look at how Apple's new flagship compares with the Samsung Galaxy S7, one of the best Android phones available. Design. The iPhone 7 has an attractive design language that retains most of the main elements of last year's iPhone 6s. $649.00 at Apple Store. You have a metal unibody build, now in glossy jet black or matte black. A glass front that curves at the side to meet the edges, and fairly standard bottom placement. The biggest change is the controversial removal of the 3.5mm audio jack at the bottom. The home button is also now a force-sensitive taptic feedback button. According to Apple, space considerations prompt the headphone jack removal. Consumers must now use the Lightning connector or wireless headphones, while the changes to the home button are to make it responsive and programmable by third-party apps. Another more minor change is integrated antennas, which effectively removes the antenna lines from the back of the phone. Samsung's S7 also wasn't a huge design upgrade over its predecessor. The phone has a glass front and back, a combination of physical home button and capacitive buttons, and a metal strip along the sides. The iPhone 7 measures 5.44 by 2.64 by 0.28 inches and weighs 4.87 ounces, making it a bit lighter than the S7. 5.61 by 2.74 by 0.31 inches, 5.36 ounces, but both should be easy to use one-handed and, in our view, are equally attractive phones in their own right. Display. Samsung is the king of displays, and Apple's iPhone 7 doesn't do much to change that. You still have a 4.7 inch 1334 by 750 Retina HD display, which works out to 326 pixels per inch, a fairly crisp density taking into account its small screen size. Apple also calibrates the display exceedingly well, supporting a wide color gamut and increasing screen brightness by 25%. That said, it won't match the 5.1-inch 2560 by 1.440 AMOLED panel on the S7, which is sharper at 577 pixels and has rich, saturated colors and true black. Features. The iPhone 7 has IP67 dust and waterproofing, meaning it can withstand being submerged in about 3 feet of water for 30 minutes. By contrast, the S7 is IP68 waterproof, allowing you to submerge the phone in 6 feet of water for 30 minutes. It's not likely to make a difference for most people in real-world usage, as both phones will survive spills, rain, and drops into toilets. Processor and battery. The iPhone 7 has a 64-bit A10 Fusion chip, one of the most powerful new processors available. According to Apple, this chip is 50% faster than the A9, has a better GPU, and should be able to give you console-level gaming on an iPhone. The iPhone 7 is expected to have 2 GB of RAM, which is less than the 4 GB of RAM on the S7. Camera. The Samsung Galaxy S7 is well regarded for having the best camera on an Android phone, but the iPhone 7 might give it a run for its money. It has a 12-megapixel camera with optical image stabilization and of a 1.8 aperture, giving it a bigger pixel size, better low light capabilities, and longer exposure. Software and connectivity. Software is always a difficult aspect to compare. Android and iOS have drawn closer with more shared features, but they are still fundamentally different experiences, so it's hard to say one is objectively better than the other. A lot depends on what you are looking for. The Samsung Galaxy S7 is currently available with Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, but it's expected to get Android 7.0 Nougat, which received our editor's choice for being a polished and useful version of Android that incorporates split-screen app viewing, VR support, and general improvements to notifications. Both phones support dual-band Wi-Fi, NFC, Bluetooth 4.2, and LTE bands for all major US carriers. Price and availability. The Apple iPhone 7 will be available in jet black, black, silver, gold, and rose gold colors. Its configurations are 32 GB for $649, 128 GB for $749, and 256 GB for $849. The jet black and black iPhone 7 only come in 128 GB and 256 GB flavors. The Samsung Galaxy S7 is already out and available in the US for $672 on the 4 major carriers for $699.99 unlocked. Ultimately, the iPhone 7 and Galaxy S7 are both excellent phones that share beautiful premium builds, powerful hardware, and many interesting features. You can't go wrong choosing either, but we will be putting the iPhone 7 to the test here at PC Labs, so stay tuned for our full review.